Hi, Nicole. I got the little guy. He's still awake, so I'm gonna keep it muted because I don't know what kind of reaction we'll get.
Hey, I know it. I feel you. All right. So I am so excited you guys could be here. I am excited to tell my story. Please forgive the car. This is my life, and the only time I can get quiet is when the girls are in dance and I get an hour in the car to myself. So those of you who don't know me, I'll give you a little bit of background on me. I have 3 girls, 9, 4, and 8 months. So my life is pretty crazy. I have been married for 5 years, and my husband is awesome and super supportive of my journey, which makes it a lot easier for me. And a little bit about my health story. So I've always thought I was healthy. I never really struggled with weight. It was kind of funny. I was thinking back in my 20s, can eat whatever you want. You're like, can't gain weight. That was kind of me. And the older ladies that I worked with at the bank, they used to joke with me and they tell me, they'd be like, you're going to regret this one day. And, it's going to catch up with you. And I would laugh it off like, yeah, right. Like, okay, never going to get old. Like in our 20s, we think nothing's ever going to happen to us. Well, it did. And when I was pregnant with my 4-year-old now, Brooklyn, I gained a lot of weight and I was the heaviest I had ever been. I started having trouble breathing, which was really strange to me. And the doctor kept saying, no, it's the way the baby is. She's sitting on something and like, it'll get better when you give birth to her. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I can handle a couple of months of not being able to breathe. We all know the last couple of months of pregnancy is not comfortable anyways. Got it. I could do this. Well, then after I had her, I still couldn't breathe. And it felt like I was gasping for air. I was always air hungry. And when I would go to sleep, it was like someone was sitting on my chest and I was gasping for air, couldn't catch my breath, felt like I had no oxygen. And so I go back to my doctor and I'm like, yeah, she's here. Why am I still struggling with this? It's just hormones, it'll go away. You're still breastfeeding. You got a lot of hormones going on. Your body's still recovering. Okay, got it. Once I stopped breastfeeding her and I was on the Nexaplon, the birth control, I was still struggling with breathing. So I'm like, well, maybe it's the birth control, got too much hormones going in. So I took that out. Still struggled. It seemed to get worse, not better. And I was like at a loss. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was never going to sleep again. I couldn't sleep. I was cranky. It was awful. Guys, I got so desperate. I went to a hypnotherapist and spent $1,500 to try to get to sleep. I would try anything and nothing worked. Finally, when my daughter was 3, I went to my primary doctor and was like, look, something's not right. My daughter's 3. My hormones cannot still be crazy. Like, why am I not breathing? And he told me, number one, he told me I was obese and that I was pre-diabetic. My A1C levels were super high, which was something I had never heard of and didn't understand because, again, I thought I was always healthy and I really didn't think I had a weight problem. But he started giving me insulin reducing shots, wanted to give me diet pills, put me on a cocktail of anti-anxiety medications, and nothing worked. Like, I mean, I was able to sleep a little bit better, but I was on so much stuff and I wasn't happy. Like, looking back now, I was super unhealthy and I didn't realize how unhealthy I was until now when I'm healthy. But so then all of my relationships were really struggling because I wasn't happy. My marriage was in trouble and I wasn't the mom, the wife that I was supposed to be, because I didn't feel good about me or myself. And so getting real vulnerable here, guys. My husband moved out, and we're both believers, so divorce was like not in our vocabulary, but we didn't know what else to do because I wasn't right. We weren't right. And so he said that he prayed for a sign, and then I found out I was pregnant with my third daughter. So God kind of smacked us in the face and said, you guys need to work a little bit harder. So pregnant with my third daughter, struggling in my marriage, and the heaviest I had ever been, and just still unhappy with my body. And now here I'm pregnant and going through all these hormonal changes. So life was just pretty crazy. Still having trouble breathing. Definitely didn't get better as I was pregnant. Hypnotherapy, by the way, did not work. $1,500. Don't do that. So Jordan was born February 24th. And an hour after I had her, I started hemorrhaging. And I don't really remember a lot, but from stories that my husband has told, it's actually pretty crazy. He just told me the other day that he said it was the most beautiful that he's ever seen me, which is really crazy to think about, guys, because if you can picture just having birth and hemorrhaging and definitely not feeling beautiful, I don't remember it. I must have kind of gone out. And he said, I just started singing worship music. And it was like, at this moment, I just needed to be dependent on God, which is kind of cool that he got to see that and he thought it was beautiful. But anyway, so I started hemorrhaging, and they rushed me into surgery where I lost all of my blood, and they called 3 code reds. And weren't able to stop the bleeding. Ended up having to do a partial hysterectomy. Before I went out, the only thing I remember was looking up at my nurse and telling her, please don't let me die. I have 3 girls and I want to be a mom. And so like the stories that I hear from my nurses and my doctors was that they literally thought they lost me. My nurse Oh no, guys, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I think I was on a really bad Wi-Fi connection.
We can hear you now. It froze for a minute, but now you're good.
Okay. Where did you lose me? Where did I leave off?
Doctors and where they thought they lost you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm here, so they didn't. Spoiler alert.
Amen.
So anyway, I spent 2 days in ICU, 2 weeks in the hospital, and it was so difficult. When I got out of the hospital on March 6th, I come pretty much into COVID. So it was just like everything on top of me. Trying to recover. I have a newborn. I had all 3 natural. So I wasn't used to the stitches and staples, and it was a lot. 3 kids at home now, my husband at home, stuck in shelter in place. It was like everything on top of me at once. And I just knew I couldn't do this. I was isolated. They told me I had PTSD from the trauma that I went through, which I laughed at first when they told me in the hospital, like, that I was going to suffer PTSD, because I was like, yeah, okay. Like I wasn't in the war, you know, like I didn't realize that PTSD was like a thing. But it was really weird, guys. So I started watching, my favorite shows were like Chicago Med and all those kind of shows. Could not watch it. I just started bawling. Like I could not watch anything medical related, just started crying. So I figured that might be a little bit of PTSD. So I realized that I was struggling, and their counselor sessions, you couldn't go anymore. There was like nobody to talk to. You were just isolated. So not only was I going through all this, but I was alone going through all this. And I saw my friend Amanda post about Plexus, and I was like, oh, natural. She had posted about active. I think that's the one that got me. And I was like, energy. Yes, that's what I need. I need some energy. I'm drinking 2 bangs a day, rock stars, just to survive, because I got a newborn and I'm still, mind you, still having these sleeping problems. And so it was awful. So I was like, sure, Amanda, let me try this Plexus thing. I'll try this, this active. So I started with the active, the hunger control, and the ease, which I was so thankful for the ease, because the pain that I was going through in my body from the surgery, and I'm not one of those people who likes pain. I don't like even taking Tylenol. So the ease was amazing. So anyways, so I started drinking the active, started drinking the hunger control, just really because, and I'm a skeptic. I didn't believe it. I was going to it was just going to be another energy drink, and I just needed something. Again, guys, I spent $1,500 on hypnotherapy, so I was desperate. Then I started sleeping. Okay, newborn at home, and I started sleeping. I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird. And I didn't really understand why I was sleeping. And then I listened to one of our friends, Amber, who, if you guys have listened to her, she is so interesting to listen to, because she's an ingredient nerd. And like, that's not my thing. I'm so not into the ingredients or the science behind this Plexus thing. I'm like, just give me what works and I will take it. But she loves the ingredients, and I love listening to her. And she started talking one time about how your blood sugar and regulating your blood sugar affects your sleep. And I was like, hey, that makes sense, because my doctor had told me my blood sugar, my A1C levels, that was all out of whack. And now I'm drinking this drink that regulates my blood sugar. He said I was pre-diabetic. This stuff was made for diabetics. My goodness, like maybe that's why I'm sleeping now. And it was just like a light bulb went off, and I just kept on. I kept, like adding the triplex and adding the Metaburn. Guys, I've lost 12 pounds, and I will be real honest with you. I am really not good at dieting and still kind of eat what I want. Okay, I eat what I want. And I don't do a lot of exercise besides chasing around 3 kids. I don't have a lot of time for it yet. So the 12 pounds really is just been the products, and it's been staying consistent and drinking my water. And I have been feeling so good. And to the point where my husband, it was so cute. He wrote in our anniversary card, we had our 5th anniversary in September, and he wrote in the card, he has seen more of a change in me in the last 6 months since I started Plexus than our whole 6 years of marriage. And guys, that meant so much to me, because I'm finally the wife and the mom that I was meant to be. And I feel like I can be present with my kids because I'm not exhausted anymore. And I feel like I'm happy, and I feel good about myself. My skin's looking better. Like I look down and I'm not upset at my body anymore, and it feels good to feel good. You can't be the best you when you don't feel good. It's just not possible. And I beat myself up so much for not being the best me, but I didn't feel good. It wasn't possible. So as Chris, Chris is my husband, for those of you who don't know. He sees me feeling good. He's like, hey, stuff that you're taking, like, and he had listened, mind you, to one of Amber's calls, and that she was talking about the ProBio 5, and she really explains it really good. He was listening to it and he's like, hey, that sounds like something maybe I would need. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about his story too, because I think it is super, super amazing. He has horrible allergies to the point where he was taking allergy shots. He was allergy medicine every single day. And he got really bad like sinus infections from the allergies. And so 3 years ago, they put him on a 30-day antibiotic. And if any of you guys have taken antibiotics, 7-10 days, like that's the max, right? 30 days, this guy was on antibiotics. And it was so bad. He ended up getting C. diff from it, which if you've had it or if you've heard of it, it is not fun. And he was in a lot of pain. 3 years later, he's still suffering from the effects from it. His horrible digestive system, it was awful. And so he heard Amber talking about this ProBio, and he's like, hey, can I try your ProBio? And I was like, all right, go ahead, try it. And so he tried it. 3 days, guys. He suffered for 3 years, 3 days of doing the ProBio and drinking the pink drink. And he was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. And I was like, what? That's awesome. So it was so cool that not only am I getting healthy, but my husband saw how good I was feeling and he wanted some of it, And so now we're doing it together. And his allergies have gotten better since he started. The kids were taking the X Factor, and Brooklyn had horrible allergies like Chris. None. Gone. It's just feels so good to get myself healthy, my family healthy, and to do it together. So I will share Plexus forever. I am a forever believer because it literally has changed my life. I am not the same person. Not only the products, but the amazing community that comes alongside you and supports you and walks with you through it. I'll call Christina and she will pray with me. And I'm like, I need that, in this season of isolation, I don't know where I would be without Plexus and the people on my team. So that is my story and my why. And I just want to thank you guys for listening and being here. Did anyone have any questions? Or Christina, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I need tissue. Every time you share your story, I'm in tears.
I'm just glad I didn't this time because I was like, I'm not going to cry this time. I'm not going to do it.
I think we all cry together and I love it. And we have become like family, and we all have a story. And your story is so, so, so powerful. I appreciate it so much. And I think too, like for me, I started for weight loss. Everybody wants weight loss. And in this journey of doing it for 2 years, I've noticed that when I ask further, like, okay, that's great. And we can work on that. But how's your sleep? I don't sleep good. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? I'm moody. I'm irritated, Oh, okay. I know this is TMI, but how many times do you use the restroom a day? You're supposed to go 2 to 3 times a day. Some people have said I don't poop for like 3 days, right? And they suffer with PTSD and anxiety and depression, but they want to lose the weight. But then there's all this stuff, right? And symptoms and suffering. And we're like, okay, let's focus over here. And the weight is a bonus. Losing weight is a bonus, but our body is really in need of support in this area, and that's something that I've learned in this journey. So whenever I talk with someone, I want to support what their needs are, but then also just encouraging them, in what they need. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear that, Bridget. I know Chris is too. He's so excited that it's helping him. And it's so much more than weight loss, and the weight loss comes. you know, and it's just, people are so used to the quick fix and the quick diet. You know, I'm going to lose 20 pounds in a week. Well, that's great. You're going to lose those 20 pounds in a week, but they're going to come back on real quick.
Right.
And so it's been 5 months, I think 5, am I on 6? I don't know. But I've lost 12 pounds, but it stayed. It hasn't yo-yoed, you know, like it just keeps steadily going down, and it's a slow process, but it's a process. And so many other things are happening that are so much more for me than the weight loss. And like the inflammation, the swelling, like you can weigh the same. And like, I finally was able to cut my hair, guys, because I didn't have the fat face. Okay. I was like, I can't cut my hair because I got the fat face, and it's starting to get there. I mean, it's still, I gotta get that. I gotta get another bottle of Ease, but but it's, there's so much more than weight loss. And just hearing my husband and my kids be proud of me, because they watched me lay there on the couch, not being able to walk up the stairs, and for them to, my kids to watch that and to be scared of, you know, who is this, you know, like they were afraid of me, like I was a monster to them, you know. And for them to, I was like, I'm not going to allow them to see me just lay here and not get better. I'm going to show them that I could be the worst they've ever seen me, but guess what? I'm going to be the best they've ever seen me when I'm done. And because I want my girl, I have 3 girls now, you know, like I want them to see that there is nothing that's going to hold you down. You are going to get up, and you are going to, whatever trials come at you, you're going to overcome them, and you're going to be better than before, because, you know, God's going to walk you through those, and he has a purpose for it. So.
Yay. We're all in agreement. That is so true. And I think it's so true that you said you have girls and they listen to how mom talks to herself, how mom talks about herself, how mom talks about her body, how mom feels. And so them seeing you change how you treat them, or how you wake up in the morning, or being passionate about Plexus, doing the calls, being consistent with your products, like that's going to imprint on their identity in a positive way, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And I never tell to them, or I never mention how much I've lost weight wise, because I just don't want that to be in their body image. But they see me taking the products, and they see me feeling good, and, you know, they'll come up to me and be like, all right, can I have my Plexus this morning? You know, and it's because they know, you know, they know that it's healthy. And my husband asks, did you put it out with my lunch? Yep. I put his Vital Biome and his Active and his Slim Nut next to his lunch, and, you know, he's off with it, and he's feeling better. He also suffers from plantar fasciitis, and I had read a testimony on that as well with the Ease and the triplex. And so we're hoping that he's not going to have surgery, and that will be another testimony for him to share. So
exciting. That's exciting. And I think too, like, it takes a while for the husbands to jump on board. Why, I don't know. I think it's almost like, I don't want to say jealous, but kind of like, give me some of that.
Right? Give me some of your happiness. Where are you getting that from?
Let me in on that, you know? And even for my husband, it took so long. And finally he was like, hey, can you get me your stuff ready? Can you hook me up? You know? And I was like, hi. So
this lighting in the car is awful.
Can you say hi?
I keep hearing them talk about those ring light things. I have to invest in that.
Oh, but you are shining, Nichole. You are shining.
I agree.
Hi.
Hi. So cute.
You're so cute.
Blow kisses. Blow kisses. Blow kisses. Say we love you. Mwah. Tell her. Mwah.
So cute.
Good job.
Yeah. I'm so glad, Christina, that you step out in faith and do this, because it is, this whole talking about the story has been therapeutic for me also, because I don't get to share it a lot. You know, I don't get to talk about, sometimes me and Chris even talked, like, it doesn't feel like it was us. You know what I mean? Like we went through that. Sure. And it just feels fake, like something that we saw on TV. And so to be able to talk about it, it just kind of works us through it and heals a lot. So
beautiful. That's beautiful. And I almost want to say, like, probably this is something you can do every week. You know what I mean? Do once a week, and just be consistent in a day and share, because like you said, it's healing for you and it's practice for you. And it gives more opportunity for people in their schedule to try next week if they couldn't this week. So I think that would be something too. I know you said what?
it was so funny. Kylie was getting out to go to her dance class, and she heard your voice message this morning about being nerve sighted, and she's like, "Oh, that was mine." I'm like, "Yes, everybody is coining your nerve sighted."
You're
thought
gonna
it was so cool
out of it or something for all of us.
So she gets out of the car and she's like, "Mom, you're gonna do great." She was like, "You just talk to your friends," and she was like, "You're gonna do great." I'm like, "Look at you." she's so funny. She just is. And like the whole family really just seems to be connecting more, and so it's just been a blessing in so many ways. And Chris and I were talking about it last night, and he was just like, "I am so excited for you," and he's like, "I'm excited for us. Like, it's just fun. It's fun." So I am a forever Plexus.
Me too.
Me too.
Yay. Oh, and we get to go to Arizona. I'm so excited.
I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait.
I can't wait to give everyone hugs.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of hugs, a lot of crying, a lot of selfies.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for setting this up, Christina. I appreciate it.
Love you.
Love you. Thanks,
Mia. We love you. Thank you, Nichole.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Bridget. Bye, Mia.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mia.
Bye.